Iran's roads not taken, Tehran, Washington, and the failures that led to war. The long, troubled history between Iran and the United States is, honestly, a story of roads not taken. It's a tale of moments when the path could have turned toward understanding, but instead, it veered back into suspicion and hostility. At several crucial points, a different gesture, a different meeting, a different choice could have altered the course of history. The story really begins in 1979, a year that forever changed the relationship. The Islamic Revolution toppled a key American ally, the Shah of Iran. The seizure of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and the 444-day hostage crisis that followed became the defining trauma. This single event poisoned the well. It created a deep wound in the American psyche. From that moment on, communication broke down almost completely. The language of diplomacy was replaced by the language of threats, missile tests, and sanctions. The 1980s did nothing to heal the wounds. Instead, the decade saw them fester and deepen. The Iran-Iraq War became a central arena for the U.S.-Iran struggle. Washington provided intelligence. Washington provided financial aid. Washington provided military support to Saddam Hussein's Iraq. The 1983 bombing of the U.S. Marine barracks in Beirut, linked to groups backed by Iran, reinforced the American view of Iran as a state sponsor of terrorism. The conflict moved to the Persian Gulf. The U.S. Navy escorted tankers, leading to direct, limited military clashes. The tragic downing of Iran Air Flight 655 in 1988, 290 civilians lost, was the horrifying culmination of this era. The horrific attacks of September 11, 2001 created a sudden and unexpected shift. For a brief, shining moment, it seemed that a common enemy, Al-Qaeda and the Taliban, could bridge the decades-old divide. American and Iranian diplomats met secretly in Geneva to coordinate their efforts in Afghanistan. The Iranians provided detailed maps and information about Taliban positions and used their influence with the Northern Alliance to help the American-led invasion. At Bonn, Iran played a constructive role, helping to shape the new Afghan government under Hamid Karzai. This pragmatic partnership was real, but the moment was tragically fleeting. In January 2002, President George W. Bush labeled Iran part of an axis of evil. For Iranian officials who had risked political capital to cooperate, this felt like a stunning betrayal. The goodwill evaporated overnight. A year after the axis of evil speech, with American troops in Afghanistan and Iraq, Iran felt increasingly vulnerable. Through the Swiss ambassador, Iran sent a comprehensive two-page proposal, a potential grand bargain. Iran offered full transparency on its nuclear program, to end support for Palestinian militant groups like Hamas and Islamic Jihad, and to pressure Hezbollah to become a political organization. In return, Iran sought an end to hostile U.S. behavior and sanctions, recognition of legitimate security interests, and full access to peaceful nuclear technology. The proposal was breathtaking, a roadmap to normalizing relations, but it was flatly rejected in Washington. The fax was reportedly dismissed, and the Swiss ambassador was told never to bring such a proposal again. Another historic opportunity was lost, and both nations drifted further toward confrontation. Split image of the U.S. Capitol and the Azadi Tower at sunrise. The story since 1979 is a powerful lesson in how choices, not destiny, shape history. The journey has been defined by a series of missed opportunities, moments where a different decision could have led elsewhere. From post-9/11 cooperation in Afghanistan, to the rejected grand bargain of 2003, to the 2015 nuclear deal, progress has been possible and fragile. Each side bears responsibility. Both nations remain captive to their own narratives of fear and suspicion. In Washington, a recurring faith in regime collapse and a preference for pressure over engagement have often closed doors. In Tehran, revolutionary rhetoric, support for proxy groups, and deep distrust of American intentions have supplied the counterpoint. Progress requires a willingness to listen, a commitment to understanding, and sustained, respectful diplomacy. Shared interests, defeating extremist groups and ensuring regional stability, could provide a foundation. Change has often come from bold leaders willing to take political risks and build small, difficult steps. History is not over, and the future is still unwritten. The choice remains: continue the well-trodden path of confrontation, or take the road less traveled toward dialogue and security for both peoples.